Good evening. Welcome to my session.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much.
So, since we are meeting for the first time, would you like to say something about yourself?
You want to know about me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. My name is Tej, and currently I'm living in Mumbai, but my hometown is Uttar Pradesh. I am working professional. I want to improve my communication so that I can interact with my colleagues or in office meetings. Uh, I am able to speak English, but still I'm not fluent. I'm not able to use the right word at the right place. Most of the time, I have to struggle if I'm talking in any new situation. The situation is, I mean, most of the time, if I'm talking with the same situation where I have already spoken, then I'm a a bit comfortable. But on the new situation, I stuck. I most of the time I do not have the right situational vocabulary, so I just try to make shift and try to express my thoughts. So that's the reason I joined English Shari, just to get the feedback from the experienced teacher and work on it, and uh, we become a fluent speaker in future.
Yes, very well described, Tej, about yourself, about your strengths as well as your weaknesses. The main thing which I could draw out of all this introduction is that you are looking for a very good vocabulary while speaking. Of course, feedback I'll be giving at the end of the session, but let me answer this part first. Atij, spoken English should always be simple and clear. One must not look for very bombastic words because we are not going to become Shashi Tharoors. Because as you know, that Sudha Murthy and Chetan Bhagat, how could they become uh, popular amongst the readers overnight? Just because their style is simple and they use very simple vocabulary. When we use very advanced and rich and jazzy vocabulary, our listener may not be able to understand idioms. My listener doesn't know that idiom and what's the use of that. So never try looking for a very, very jazzy word. Simple English will be enough while speaking, and then you won't have this problem of looking for the word. Am I right? Are you looking for a very, very advanced vocabulary while expressing yourself?
Not exactly. I mean to say, what happens in English and Hindi. So in Hindi, like कुछ भी खराब है, जैसे खाना खराब है, पंखा खराब हो गया है, मेरा मूड खराब है. We are using the one word that is a खराब, and it is well fit in all the situation. But in English, it doesn't work like that. If the food is bad, then we'll say food is stale. My mind is upset. The machine is out of order or it's not working. So that is a situational base vocab. So I'm lacking of that whenever it is a new situation. Like if I'm going to talk about the latest which is running a IPL. Okay, so maybe I do not have the right words related to the IPL. Okay, then that's my main concern, and also sometimes I make the mistake sentence framing and the preposition. This feedback actually I have got it from tutor, because this is my sixth or seventh session. That's the reason I got to know that I should work, and I'm just telling you here. Yeah, so that is situational base vocab I'm running. I mean lacking, so that's my problem. Yeah.
You gave a very good example, but that is same in English. We can use the word bad for everything if we want. Machine is running very bad. Food is very bad. The situation is very bad. The same is as in Hindi as in English. The only difference is we become conscious while speaking English. For example, mother tongue. When I speak, I'm conscious about the grammar. I go on and on and on. And if Hindi teacher is sitting beside me, she may take out so many mistakes out of that. I can understand Hindi, I can write, I can speak, but I don't know the grammar of Hindi. But in English, student wants that first of all, grammar, words, then I'll become fluent. No, that is not the rungs of the letter. For example, the letter is there, the first rung is confidence only. The things may go wrong in the beginning, doesn't matter at all. In Hindi also things go wrong, but we are not aware. In English we become immediately conscious of word, grammar. There is no need for that. First of all, confidence. Go on and on and on, like as you speak in Hindi. The rest of the things automatically starts getting mind. For example, grammar. Yes, sometimes subject verb agreement may go haywire. Even the elite person speaking on the stage never speaks the flawless grammar. So don't worry about all these things. Even for the word, one cannot have full dictionary in the mind overnight. Slowly, gradually, the mind is very smart. It takes time to register the things. Slowly, gradually, words it will register. They will go into a memory lane, and one day they will sprout out like popcorns. So don't be in a haste. First of all, fluency. At the cost of fluency, we don't have to give importance to any of these things. So you must have seen the English people when they speak. Do they speak very jazzy English? No, simple English. They are fluent. So first target should be becoming fluent. Rest of the things is the cherry on the cake. When the words will come, we will adopt. Right? So the topic. Before I should also introduce myself. I'm Sarita Ori, associated with the field of teaching for a long, long time. I have taught residential as well as in day schools. I've taught the IELTS students also for 4 years online. Now I'm with English Academy and I've helped so many students to become fluent in their day-to-day conversation as well as how to speak eloquently on the stage. So this is all about me. Anything you want to ask, you can ask about myself without any hesitation.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm so sorry I didn't see the topic because every teacher has, topic.
No problem.
I
No.
want, because you're a very experienced teacher. So, to be very honest, actually, I work for an international call center where I'm handling with the US customer. Okay.
Okay.
So, but when I talk with them, so I'm talking in particular domain, like if they have any issues with their problems. So I have already spoken at least 100 or 1,000 times same words, same. I use simple English, so I'm good. I'm able to answer whatever they are asking. Okay? Because I know there's a fixed domain. They are not going to ask what is going on in IPL, why Sachin is not playing, okay, and what is happening in your village, okay, and they are not talking. So, but in my real life, because I come from the Hindi medium background, so when I see my other colleagues, mostly who are Christians or they have studied and born and brought up in Mumbai itself, so their English is wow. So I feel like I want to speak like them and I want to become a English coach like you because I want to help my other brother and sister who are struggling like I have a struggle when I came to the Mumbai when I was looking for a job. So I know that pain and it's been 3 years. So sometimes I feel I'm not very fluent, like I can talk in each and every situation like my friends. They don't have to think like they speak without thinking. But what happens with me if the situation is new, I have to think, okay, then I have to speak in English. So this is the gap I want to remove. I'm just looking your experience based guide, the map, what should I road map, what should I do from here after, whether I should focus on the pronunciation, vocab and writing or reading part, or should I focus on speaking? What should be the roadmap from today? If you can, I hope you would be able to judge my fluency. What is the label as of now? So for the 6 months, what should I do? Yeah, that's what I am expecting today. Yeah.
Your fluency level is very good. Don't be conscious. First thing, don't compare yourself with others. Because comparison most of the time brings inferiority complex. We are at our best. Every student is unique in itself. We don't have to treat as a teacher also. In workshops, it was said that don't treat 40 students, don't treat them with one stick because everybody has the different type of caliber. So don't compare yourself with others. If they are Christian, they must have started from the beginning itself. But see your improvement. Your fluency level is really very good. Don't undermine yourself, right? Second, practice makes a man perfect. If I go on the stage first time, when I go after 10th time, then the skill builds between them. So, even more confidence will come to us. It takes time. Now, language has four skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. First grade should be given to listening. It's very important. For example, a child born in America and child born in India. Uh, he will say mom, here he will say mom. Was there any coach? No, the child listened and spoke. Similarly, give a lot of importance to listening. Reading is also important, but listening is better. Why? Because at that time, mind is registering the pronunciation also. So, anything, because nowadays things are just a click away. On YouTube, podcasts are there, the discussions are going on, news are there. News mostly learners tell me, ma'am, very boring, repetition. I generally recommend two channels because otherwise news are really very boring. Repetition is there. One is First Post, that is one page. And do watch that. Very good indeed. Body language, stress, modulation of voice, everything is there. So that brings me to this that we cannot impress others with only vocabulary. We can impress others with the modulation of voice. Simple English. But how I am modulating it? When I say Tej, India has won the match. Now see, my voice is going up. When I say, oh, Tej, India has lost the match, now my voice is going down. So these things play a very important role, making us an impressive speaker, modulating the voice up and down. Similarly, the punctuation marks are there, comma, question mark. While writing, we all observe these, but while speaking, we forget. So those are also to be observed. My sentence is finished, short pause. If I'm quoting comma, short pause. If I am asking a question, that question mark should be written over my face. When I say, Tej, do you want to ask any question? The question is on my face because I am expressing in that manner. Similarly, oh, fall it is sign of exclamation. So these punctuation marks in writing we write, but in speaking we should according to us. So these makes a person impressive. Don't worry about this. You are fluent, already fluent, because you had been speaking non-stop for 3-4 minutes, and I was observing. Excellent grammar was there. Don't undermine yourself. Yes, sky is the limit. We cannot say that I am perfect. Every day we learn something new. For that, you have already joined the classes. Do listen. Whenever you get time, yes, reading also plays a very important role, but writing also sometimes. Because when we write, we are in at a relaxed mood. Mind is not on the express train. It's only you are writing, you are thinking, you can delete, you can rewrite. So whatever the spade work while writing is done, mind is destroyed. So when I say writing, not typing. When we type, 8 fingers are working and mind remains confused. But when we are writing with the pen when we write, learning is also going. So all skills should be done simultaneously. But whenever you get time, I don't sit every day for skills. The will be stuff in the mind. Mind always learns when it is relaxed, right? So in the beginning, yes, listening, give more importance to listening, and then speaking. There is no harm closing the door and speaking to yourself loudly. It makes a person confident, right? For example, you have a call, yes, tomorrow. You know on what topic you have to talk to your client. There is no harm in practicing also, because practice makes us familiar with the words, with the sentence structures, and those words become our property, and spontaneously they will start coming out of our mind. So on the call center, a few words must be there which are mostly used. So make a map of the words, keep there on your side so that repetition of words can be avoided. Yes. Any other question?
Like you said, you also teach for IELTS. I have heard, but
Yeah.
I do not know what is exactly how it is different from normal English teaching to the IELTS. If you can help me a little bit information about that.
IELTS is again 4 modules are there: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. In reading, uh, when a student goes for job or permanent settlement, then it is general test. But if he is going for further studies, then it's academic. So reading paper is different for academic and for general. A little bit easier for general and academic a little bit tougher. So in reading, again there will be comprehensions are there, 4 parts are there. After the paragraph, questions are there which are to be answered. Yes, academic parts are little bit difficult. Only otherwise comprehension is there. Sometimes one answer questions are there. Sometimes objective types are there, but one can easily do it. Writing again for general it is a little bit different. Academic it is different. For general, essay and letter, and for academic, essay and report writing is there. Listening and speaking are same for both the categories. In listening, you have to go to the center. They will start. Again, 4 parts are there. They will start, and you will be listening, and one answer sheet is given to you where you have to mark the answer. Objective type, all there. Nothing you have to write. You have to mark it. Speaking is listening, reading, and writing together. They are done at one day at one center, but speaking is on some other day, maybe before this 3 tests, or maybe after that. They separately send you the test. It's for 11 minutes. The candidate goes inside alone, examiner and the candidate, and they will be asking, first of all, to make a student comfortable. Where do you stay? What's your name? Uh, are you a working professional? Are you a student? Just if you like tea, what type of weather you like, just to make comfortable. Then cue card round is there. Then they will give you a card. One card, one topic, and 4 prompts are given. 1 minute will be given, student will prepare, and then he has to speak for 2 minutes. And the third round is a discussion round where this type of questions will be there, no or yes, anything can be the answer, but you have to prove your point because the question is there. Why it is called discussion? Because the examiner doesn't participate in the discussion, then how it can be a discussion? Discussion is we are discussing with ourselves whether we have to take the side of yes or we have to take the side of no. We have to give examples. So this is all in all IELTS. It unnecessarily awe is created. A student like you can easily crack IELTS. Right? For example, thinking you are at that pedestal and you can easily crack the test of IELTS. Any other
Yeah,
question?
thank you very much for helping with about the IELTS, I think, yeah, because I have seen I mean sometimes the ads like if you want to become 4 band, 3 band, something like that. That's the reason I had the curiosity to know what is that, because you have been teaching, yeah. So I got the feedback from you that I have to start the writing as well, because it help us to understand the punctuation, as well as we can it help us to remember or memorize the word, okay, faster than any other method. The second reading I should do as much as possible. It will help me to pronounce any word clearly. The third is
Listening will help you for pronunciation. Reading will absorb the vocabulary. Right?
yeah. So speaking is very important, because as you told me, practice makes some man perfect. So as much as I'm going to speak, I am going to be very fluent, also very what is called familiar with the new words, okay. So that is the what feedback I got. And listening, what about listening? What should I do? Shall I watch web series?
Anything of your interest could be podcast. I never recommend movies, English movies, because their extent is that where sometimes the students are not able to understand. They have to look for the captions. So at that time, diversion is there. Podcasts are absolutely fine. News, as I said that, Wantage. That comes at 9 o'clock at night on YouTube. That is First Post is the channel. Wantage is the name of the book. Yeah, I'm writing in the chat box.
I know I am not able to recall one of the anchor who I think she is very famous.
Palki Sharma. Palki Sharma.
Yeah, Palki Sharma. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She speaks, I think, wonderful English, and the way she
Yeah.
presents herself, I am very impressed. Sometimes I have seen her, news clips, but as you are recommending it, so I'm going to find out her, complete episode, and I'm going to watch not just once while I'm traveling to my office. I'll make sure I'll see at least 2 to 3 episodes. And you
Yeah.
also recommended me 2 news channels. So I think it was the first post, right? What was the second channel?
No, second is Beyond.
Okay.
Beyond. And there, same, Gravita is there.
Can you write in the chat box so that I can find
I
out?
will have written.
Okay.
So let me tell. First, Palki has left First Post, and now Hem Kaur Saroya is there. Equally good she is. It comes from Monday to Friday, at 9 to 10. But there is no need. I always watch the recordings in the morning over a cup of tea. Whenever you are convenient, you can watch. Same with Beyond, 9 to 10 at night, Monday to Friday, but recordings are available throughout the day. Very good vocabulary idioms, and at the same time, just I'll give you. It says that be courageous, and she was using flex your muscles. What a beautiful expression it was. Instead of saying be courageous, flex your muscles. So, the main point is whenever you listen, you understand the idiom conjuro, because it is spoken in such a manner with so much good expression that we don't need to Google up to know the meaning. So do watch any of these First Post or Gravita, any one you can watch. Get equally good, very good vocabulary is there. At the same time, podcasts, watch anything of your interest can be watched. So many podcasts are there, and really very soon you will find that the things have started Okay, before we wind up, I just want you to speak longer at length. I mean to say, I'll give the topic and let me see. Let me find out that how long you can. Right. Let us go back to our childhood days. Right.
Okay.
So, what type of child you had been during your childhood? Shy, confident, or you bond with the family, with the teachers, with your friends? Did you participate in extracurricular activities or not in school days? Anything you can speak about your childhood. I just want to see at length how long you can speak.
Sure, let me try. So I born and brought up in one of the remote village of Pratapgarh, Uttar Pradesh. I born in a farmer family. My father was a farmer and my mother was homemaker. She was also helping my father in the fields. Okay, so I was three sisters and two brothers. So basically, because I born in 1996, so in that era, I when I grow up, I don't remember what I was how I was during first to fifth year. But my mother told me that I was a very naughty boy. I was always troubling my bothering her. Okay, but what I can recall, I went to the one of the nearby primary school. There were teachers, but I was not much, participating in everything. But what happened? I was good in study in my childhood, in comparison to my other brother and sisters. So I was good in maths. I was good in maths and English. That time it hasn't introduced to me, but I was only able to write A to Z until I completed my fifth. Okay, and I completed my fifth around 2006 because I started my first in 2000, so I completed in 2001. So my education goes like that. If you will ask me when you cleared your 10th, I will say 2011. So I don't have to remember because of this automatic setup. uh, I would say I have always been introvert. Okay, I was never participating until my teacher is forcing me. Okay, upfrontly, I still remember I have never said, yeah, I want to participate in this game, in this quiz, or in anything. And because I feel that I always have been underconfident whether I can crack or whether I can do well in that particular game, and that was the reason not participating upfrontly. So yeah, that's all about me. But I'm trying from last 2 to 3 years to become a extrovert. uh, so but still, because where I walk, when people talk in a flawless English, my confidence most of the time goes down. So I still try to push myself. No, no, it's okay, you are doing well, you will improve, because you are working on it, you are not silently sitting. But still sometimes I feel that I am under confidence because of this. So I would say overall, earlier I was introvert, but since I am in Mumbai, when I see other people, then I'm pushing hard myself to become an extrovert. Also, if I feel that I do not have any particular skill. Okay, let's suppose anything I don't know which is required to get promotion in my office or to become number one in the office ranking. So I try to learn whenever I have a time. I try to learn that skill because we have internet nowadays, so it's very easy to gain any skills if you are determined, if you are interested. So about my childhood, I what I remember, because after six I started learning English. I was going. Yeah, I took the tuition. My father took me one of the teacher who knows English better. So I, going every day. So he helped me a lot to understand the English grammar. But one thing, what I, missed during that time, which I realized later, because it was the right pronunciation. When I moved to the Mumbai, I was able to read English, but whatever English I was reading, it was not correct. People used to tell me that you have a MTI, mother tongue influence. So then I got to know that term. What is a mother tongue influence? I started working on it uh, from that time. So I understand even Hindi and English, what is called alphabets, they look similar. Like English K and Hindi Ka sounds look, but they're actually not similar. Hindi Fa and English Fa, friends. Then I understood when I say, when I pronounce Hindi words and English words, the mouth position should be different. Like if I'm saying a friend, then so should be like this, friend. If I'm saying Victor, if I'm saying wicket, W should come like this, wicket, Victor. So these things I understood. Then there are 44 sounds, 24 consonant, and 20 vowels. Okay, I used to say vowel, something like that, but I understood no, it's vowels. Whenever I have any confusion that how to pronounce a word, I go online, I check. There is a Cambridge dictionary, and I was also not able to make difference between the sa sound and sha sound. Like for me, C and she was same sound. Okay, people used to laugh on me, but they were trying to tell me this is the difference. For me, I don't know what you guys. I'm also pronouncing the same. It's a C. No, then but I understood. With the help of the internet, if you want to say she, this tongue should be little up like this, like the she. And when you are saying, normal S, then C.
Tej, I am interrupting you.
I'm so sorry. This time is,
No, it's very good. It's very good. I was enjoying. But after 35 minutes, English Shari will on its own disconnected.
Okay, no problem.
So,
Thank you very much.
1 minute is no. 1 minute is left. I will be, but it will be disconnected while I am speaking on its own. So, coming to my feedback, according to me, first is confidence, then fluency. I give 10 out of 10 to you. You're a very confident person, very fluent also, and your efforts to learn. Your pattern is really remarkable. Uh, Third is grammar. Yes, sometimes the things go a little bit haywire, but don't be conscious of it. I won't be taking out the mistakes because once I will take it out,